Okay, so I lied. That last video was not the last video on this video marathon, and now the sun's going down. It's gonna get some sun, some exercise. I am devoted and dedicated to you. How do you get rid of depression? Well, a lot of the depression is actually associated with the brain and inflammation, really. And a lot of the depression is associated with, they're always like, it's a chemical imbalance. It's like, yeah, there's a lot of chemicals in the food, or you're taking drugs, or you're drinking a lot, or you're snorting cocaine, and then you're getting depressed. So one of the things that you have to do, I realize this is what's crazy, that in order to get over depression, you actually have to feel your feelings. So the people are like, I have feelings, doctor, that are unpleasant. And the doctor says, oh, well, we can't have that, so let's give you a prescription. Now, there are some people that, there's a lot going on, and so there's a lot of unresolved stuff. There's childhood trauma. There's energies that need to be dealt with. And so it takes a lot of maturity and responsibility. And the reason why I'm saying antidepressant is because the orange juice is like an antidepressant, especially in the middle of winter, because oranges grow in the wintertime in the south, and then you've got these little orange balls of light, and I call it, sunshine in a jar, really. Liquid sunlight, liquid sunshine. So it's an antidepressant boost, orange juice. And so a lot of the problem is coming from the food. I know I emphasize that quite a bit. Not everything is always food, but that's where you want to start. If you're dealing with depression, is you definitely want to start with your food, because the food is depressing. It's real depressing because it's got a lot of chemicals, and it ruins your gut bacteria. And it's the gut bacteria that produce the thoughts in your head, really. And also, your gut is the factory where all of the neurohormones are made. So if your gut is all jammed up with Pizza Hut pizza, which is fine when you're a kid, kind of. But then you know how the teenagers always get depressed because the food is so depressing. There'd be a lot less depression if parents fed their kids whole natural food. I know that's, sounds like a preposterous idea, but it is true though. When there's the natural foods, you see the kids go to the co-op and look at the kids that are eating carrots and cucumbers and apples and oranges, and then go to Walmart and look at the kids that are eating the sugar Bixies, the Bixie Boppers, the Bing Bing Bong Bong, and with the colored cereal box, the cartoon character with all the colorants, additives, starches, pesticides. They're crying, they're misbehaving, and the parents are not putting two and two together. They're crying and they're depressed. And then as you get older, you just sort of learn to deal with the depression, but you never really change. You just quit crying and complaining and being suicidally depressed, and then you're just like, you're eating the same foods and you're dealing with the same issues, and you haven't dealt with the childhood trauma. But now you're an adult, you're like, well, I don't really want to kill myself, but that's a stupid idea. I'm too much of a pussy, to do it. Oh well, life just basically sucks. That was my brother's sage advice. And there have been times when I've sort of agreed with him. He goes, Dan, my older brother, he's 2 years older than me. One day, I don't know, it was probably 20 years ago or something. He goes, Dan, life basically sucks. Now, my brother, he's not exactly known for being, the happiest guy in the world. Me, I kind of found a way. I've had to deal with a lot of stuff, childhood trauma and all that stuff, but I'm pretty good, man. A lot of my friends the last few days have been like, you seem pretty good, bro. I'm like, I'm pretty good, man. I'm doing a lot of work. I believe in it. I believe in the work of sobriety is really key. I mean, I've been my whole life, I was basically an addict, big time. And, slowly but surely, a few relapses along the way. You know what I'm saying? It's to be expected, right? But, now I'm really, really sober. And I feel real good. That's a real important thing. Sobriety is very good for your brain. I'm talking about alcohol, drugs, benzodiazepines, Vicodin, heroin. Fentanyl is a big thing right now. They're not even trying to stop it. They're not trying to stop anything. It's the most bizarre thing. The government hates you. Like, the government is like, fuck these citizens. Let's do everything we can to make their life harder and worse without them figuring it out so that they come and shoot us with their guns. So the government hates you, basically, because there's this like class of globalists who are like, oh, these low-level people. But they're actually really stupid. And they don't realize we're actually kind of intelligent and we know what you're doing. So yes, the world can be depressing with a bunch of reptiles, masquerading as politicians and heads of state, okay? But other than that, you fix the gut, you work on the sobriety, you got to feel. What you have to do to get depressed, to get over the depression, is walk through it and be okay with it, embrace it, understand it, in the sense of you want to feel, because you don't want to stop your feelings or unpleasant feelings, because the lower you can go, the higher you can go. You see? Now, you don't want to be on this roller coaster. What you're looking for is an even keel. You see, you'll have those low moments and you'll have those high moments, but in the end, you're going to want to find the center. The not too happy, like no manic, not too sad, just, hey, life is okay. It's kind of like a neutral place, because we're always chasing, oh my God, and then it's like you snort 4 lines of cocaine and have sex with 4 chicks and drink a bottle of tequila, and then you take some Molly and you're tripping all night long, yeah, and then what happens? Well, you're depressed for 6 months after that, and you have a kid with some crazy chick, right? So you're, yeah, and then you're just down. Is that what you want? No, you want to just, so it's like, the movies, it's, oh, everything's amazing, and it's blah, 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 ging, 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 cars and money and fame and fakka-tikka-tunka. No, man. A nice snack, a little bit of grass, bare feet, some sun, the wind, a little bird, your favorite song, someone to talk to, laugh with, have a little picnic, whatever, a little cheese and crackers, little red wine. Simple life. All this and the down, and it's like, why can't I be like everyone else? They're not happy either. It's the internet. It's all fake. Don't worry about it. Trust me, those people don't look like that in real life. So all the kids, don't get depressed. They don't look like that in real life. Nobody does. You meet people, you see them, internet, boom, you meet them in real life, oh my God, you're a completely different person. You see what I'm saying? So, to get over the depression, you have to eat real food and throw all that other shit in the trash. Can you dig it? Juicing is really good. There's all kinds of other supplements that you can take that are kind of precursors to stuff, but the real food is where you start. And then you work on the sobriety. And you work on the low self-esteem and the low self-worth, and you just look at it and you feel it. And you go through periods of your life where you consciously feel like shit. You're like, I feel like shit, and I'm not going to take any drugs, and I'm not going to stuff myself with Doritos and fried chicken. I'm not going to smoke any weed. I'm not going to go out and get drunk. I'm not going to go do anything. I'm just going to sit here and I'm going to feel my feelings. And I'm going to get up and go to work and feel my feelings. And if you feel it sucks and everything in you is programmed to avoid pain and chase pleasure. But as you get more mature and you're like, I don't want to be depressed my whole life on these 3 drugs that are making me see little green men in the corner of the room, And then I try to get off them, and I'd go absolutely apeshit ballistic psychopath because the doctor gave me these things, and now because I didn't want to feel the unpleasantness of life. It's the same. The pleasantness and the unpleasant, there's going to be a fulcrum point. You want to make it in the middle, you stand right on top of the fulcrum. And you don't go to one side or the other. You're just like, it's cool. And you just try to love and serve and give, and you try to quit chasing the, oh my God, the movies. And you don't want to be on the super low either, and you kind of got to just feel it. And as you feel it, it just disperses. Because you're like, oh, I can handle this. And you go through periods where it sucks. You go through a divorce, your house burns down, your kitty cat dies, you get in a car wreck, you lose your job. I don't know, you go on a bender and you spend your life savings on coke. I mean, there's so many things that happen to human beings, you know. And you got to just get up and keep dealing with it, and it makes you stronger, you know, and it sucks. And the good times, they come and they go. But ultimately what we aim for is peace, you know. So I just want to thank you for watching all my videos. I don't know if I've just been kind of more open on this last little section today, randomly talking about nothing. And that's going to be an experiment because I usually try to keep it between these certain things. And if I don't keep it on these parameters, like the last several videos where I'm talking about relationships, talking about depression and all this kind of swearing and whatever, I wouldn't even put them up. It's like, keep it online. You know, there's fiber and vegetables. Have a nice day. But I'm just trying to be like, you know, and it's coming off of my heart, you know. And I think the right people at the right time, like probably 75% of people have clicked off. But like 25% of the people, and maybe like 5% of the people, just, you know, the 25% are like, oh, I watch all DTM's videos till the end. But then the 5% of the people, they needed to hear something that got said today. That would be my hope. And that if you want to change your diet and work on sobriety, trust me, you're looking at an absolute junkie who's now totally sober and for the first time in his life is like balanced. And I'm like, okay, what's next? And I know what's next. I'm finally actually getting to my purpose. I'm finally getting to where I'm doing my purpose and it's my thing and no one else can even understand your purpose. No one understands my purpose. I mean, maybe they'll be like, oh, that sounds very interesting. But no, it's a very private, personal thing. And the more you shut up about it and just do it, the better off you're going to be. And it's just your purpose. And your parents don't have to understand. And your mom doesn't have to understand. And your brother and your sister and your cousins and your friends and your internet followers, they don't have to understand your purpose. But you've spent so much time with your own heart that you know what it's telling you to do. And you got to follow that. And F society, man. They're tripping, dude. This whole thing is tripping. Do you, baby. No matter how strange it seems. I'm the greatest crochet artist in the world. It's like, crochet? How are you going to make money at that, Bobby? You know, that's a woman's job. Grandma did that shit, you know? It's like, I love crochet, damn it. It's just what I want to do. And then you're in there just crocheting, and everyone's like, Bobby's kind of weird. Maybe he's gay or something, you know? But Bobby just loves crochet, you know what I'm saying? I don't know, that's a very good example, but you got to do what you want to do, even though everyone's like, Bobby, you're going to take over the family business. It's like, Dad, I don't want to sell refrigerators. I would literally rather pull my thumbnails out with a pair of pliers than to sell those goddamn refrigerators, you know? And that's what people do. And then like, I'm taking over the family business. I'm a refrigerator salesman. And then Bobby's snorting coke behind the scenes because he's miserable. Whereas if he would do something that he wants to do that makes him happy, which exercise helps you to be happier, fresh air makes you to be happier, sunlight makes you happier, good food makes you happy, hanging out with a friend, touching, go get a massage, blah, blah, blah. Follow your purpose. Be bold. Be courageous. And you know what? Trust me when I tell you, the internet is the happy land. Everything's perfect, blah, blah, blah. But no, people are silently struggling. You know, and you're not the only one. I don't know what that was, but something just happened. But you're not the only one that's having a hard time. But this can be done. Believe me, this last year was, 2023 was the year of the dark tunnel, where it's just, I don't know what happened. I don't know if it said 2024, the light at the end of the tunnel. Now you're living in the light, but I just feel way better. I had to go through a lot, and I'm completely, 2023 transformed me, for sure. And it sucked, but I wouldn't trade it for the world. So when it sucks, know that God is doing a mighty work in you. And just ride this crazy ride, man. Reach out and ask for help. But really try to find the real answers. Not the doctors, not the psychiatrists that have no clue of what's happening physiologically, biologically, or psychologically. It's up to you. I mean, that's basically what this world is about. The government it's not even good for nothing. It's like a negative. They fuck up everything that they touch. The government is stupid. They're the most inefficient, wasteful joke that's ever been. It's like, get off me, don't touch it, leave me alone, I don't want your help. I'm from the government and I'm here to help. That's the last thing you want to hear. That's a meme going around. But so the society can't really help you because everyone is way more crazier than you are. And the people that are trying to help you are way crazier than you are and have no clue what's going on. They're like, well, let me give you a prescription. This time you'll be seeing little purple guys in the corner instead of little green ones. You don't really want that. You want your neurons firing as much as you possibly can. I mean, I don't think I'm ever going to win any awards for, brain function because I've, burned the candle at both ends and took a blowtorch to the middle. But I am alive and I am well and I am not depressed presently. And I've had a lot of depression in my life. A lot of it does come from brain inflammation from a traumatic brain injury at a young age. And most children go through that. For some, it's more severe than others because our society, again, the pharmaceuticals people are insane. And everyone's insane. And the dentists screw up your teeth and the doctors screw up your health and the lawyers are a bunch of crooks. And the politicians rip you off and make your life harder and make it worse. And the teachers are go woke, to teaching communism. And it's like the whole thing. You got to do your own thing. Hey, of course, yeah, I love that cold cereal with cow's milk. Wonderful. No, I'm not hungry this morning, or I've got a doctor's appointment, or whatever. You just find excuses to not imbibe in all the stuff and get rid of the friends that aren't lifting you up. Want to go out drinking? You're like, man, the life regenerators, to get sober. Man, I wonder what it would be like to be sober. Way better, dude. It's more real. And your feelings, you start to become in control. And when you're not, you develop the skills to be like, oh, wow, I'm really depressed today and I'm hopeless. Cool. I'm sure tomorrow will be different. But when you're young and less mature, it's hopeless. There's no hope. There's never going to be hope. I mean, believe me, I was at a place where there was just no light at the end of the tunnel. It was eternal hopelessness. And I was like, I'm doomed. Just laying on this bed. Like there is no point to even living anymore. This is how sad and depressed I was. And it was hopeless forever. But then just slowly but surely over time, little teeny tiny cracks of light began to appear at the end of the tunnel. And yeah, man, I just love people, man. And I know what it's like. And I'm not going to be one of these bitch asses that's going to be judging people for what they eat. I think that's bitch ass bullshit. Because you don't know what people are going through. So they try to make everyone feel bad. You eat this and you eat that. And you go this and do that. This is my food trip. It's like, shut up. Because you don't know what someone's going through. You don't know how they got to cope. So they'll be like, yo, I like orange juice. I think it's good for you. Drink it. I'm not going to say, if you eat this, your colon's going to fall out in 5 seconds and you're going to have rotting worms in your brain, I don't believe in any of that, dude. I only believe in love. That's it. And that video is only going to be 20 minutes. So I got to go. But I do appreciate you. And I really hope the best for everyone. I mean it. I'm out.